and the award we got was just slightly over £470,000. Our aim is to train local people within local community networks for them then to go out and support people who are in hardship and crisis. I mean, essentially what we know is that a lot of people experience hardship firstly through things like unemployment, housing, losing their house possibly, or a health problem, or being in debt. And quite often it's local community networks, churches, mosques, temples, community organisations that are most in touch with these people. And our intention with the Citizens Advice Bureau is to train people within these local networks for them to get skills in relation to advice, advocacy, signposting, where to go to help. So to bring services much more closer to people, with people themselves helping people within their own networks.
Local organisations and community organisations are seeing considerable cuts from government. As a result, they are relying ever more on grants of this nature. How do you think this will continue going forwards? Obviously, this is a substantial amount of money, but you may not guarantee that in years to come. What would you say?
Well, we continue to look for further funding. I mean, our funding has been cut by 40% over the last 5 years through various measures of austerity. But,
I'd just like to recap what your organisation does, should I say?
So we're a law centre based in South West London. We cover 6 London boroughs. We assist over 9,000 people a year with legal problems. We run 3 main services. Casework service in social welfare law. We help about 3,000 people a year through that. We represent about 2,000 people in local county courts with possession hearings to help them defend their possession hearings. And then we run a large volunteer clinic service in the evening, which we help about 4,000 to 5,000 people.
Now, Patrick, you receive slightly less money than Malik, but still a substantial amount of money. How will that help in real terms? What does that sort of money... So you received just over 400,000, didn't you?
Yes. So over the next 5 years, we'll be helping an additional 1,000 people. We'll be listening to them, helping them with emergency welfare benefits and legal problems. We're partnering up with a number of organisations in other boroughs, including the Zacharias 2000 Trust in Westminster, where we're going to train law students to help deliver this service. If I can give an example of a sort of type of case we'll be sort of taking on. So we met Faye in the county court. She had been evicted that day. She got home and found her locks had been changed. She was a widow and she would not cope well with the death of her husband. She was bringing up 4 young teenage children. We got details from her and found out actually the underlying problem was a welfare benefit problem, and we were able to get to stay with friends that night. We made an emergency application to court the next day to get her back into her home, and where this project will be helping us is helping the students to help sort out the welfare benefit problem for her, which we did in that case and wiped out most of the rent arrears. And then the further thing this project will do, which is new for us, is we're going to try and follow Faye on afterwards to find out what happens to her and to see what further support she needs to help refer her to organisations that Malik is connected to, so she gets the support so she doesn't fall back into the same circumstances again.
Can I say that your earlier point was an important one in terms of austerity, lack of resources to continue to put into this work. Therefore, we think it's important that if we trained local people who are already in their own communities, so people who are already existing with their own networks, and gave them the skills for them to help their own communities, we think that's much more sustainable over long term. Can I also add that, London now is a multicultural, diverse city. 40% of the people who now live in London actually weren't born in London. And London is a city with a lot of different organisations already in place and already functioning. I've mentioned our church, our mosque, our temples, our community organisations. Just in Wandsworth alone, we have 800 voluntary organisations. So we already have infrastructure in place to support people. What the lottery funding will do is it will now enable us and allow us to put money into local community organisations for them to help the people who come through their doors. We're hoping to help 1,600 people over the course of the next 4 years.
OK, well, Malik, Patrick, thank you very much for coming in, and best of luck with your organisations going forward.
Thank you.